Look closely at the center of the Amazon basin, and you'll find Manaus. 2 million people live in this sprawling, concrete metropolis, entirely walled in by an endless ocean of thick, green foliage. To grasp the scale of the jungle surrounding this city, look at this map. The entire continent of Europe, excluding Russia, fits neatly inside the Amazon basin. We are talking about 5.5 million square kilometers of dense forest. Navigating this terrain is notoriously difficult. The canopy above is so thick that in many places sunlight never reaches the floor. The shadows beneath hide venomous dart frogs, massive green anacondas, and apex predators like the jaguar. Because of its sheer size and hostile environment, scientists and historians long assumed that the Amazon was entirely untamed, a primordial forest that humans simply couldn't conquer. Evidence now shows this conclusion was based on a misunderstanding of what lies beneath. For decades, the Amazon has acted like a massive technological black box. The dense canopy scatters satellite imaging, and the extreme humidity and vegetation severely weaken GPS signals, keeping the true nature of the forest floor hidden from view. Modern science has finally pierced that green roof. This reveals an overgrown graveyard of highly advanced ancient civilizations buried beneath the roots. Entire societies vanished here, swallowed by the jungle. To understand how they lived and why they disappeared, we first have to understand the biological engine that built this forest in the first place. 100 million years ago, tectonic shifts pushed the Earth's crust violently upward. This formed the Andes, a massive, jagged wall of rock along the western coast of South America. This topographic map illustrates the result. A massive river that originally flowed west into the Pacific Ocean suddenly had a mountain range blocking its path. The water was trapped, reversed its flow eastward, and flooded the central basin into an enormous wetland. The trees that sprouted from those wetlands evolved into a self-watering machine. They pull moisture directly from the saturated ground, sweating it out through their leaves and into the air, where it forms clouds and rains right back down onto the same forest. Biologists call this process transpiration. Every single day, the trees of the Amazon pump roughly 20 billion tons of water into the atmosphere. This rainfall feeds the Amazon River itself. It is the largest water delivery system on Earth, discharging 20% of all the world's fresh river water into the Atlantic. This perfectly balanced closed-loop biological engine cultivated an aggressively fast-growing environment. The result is a landscape so wild, historians naturally assumed it was far too hostile and infertile for early humans to tame. That assumption was largely based on the soil. Despite the lush vegetation, natural Amazonian dirt is highly acidic and nutrient-poor. It absorbs organic matter too quickly to support the large-scale agriculture required to feed a sprawling population. That consensus held until researchers deployed LiDAR. By flying aircraft over the jungle and firing millions of laser pulses through the tiny gaps in the leaves, they mapped the bare ground beneath for the first time. These LiDAR scans show the terrain stripped of its foliage. Hidden under the uneven natural ground are perfectly straight human-made lines, distinct grid patterns, and circular village mounts. Millions of inhabitants once lived here, connected by complex road networks and sophisticated water canals. They survived the poor soil by inventing an agricultural technology we call terra preta, or black earth. They engineered a super soil by mixing charcoal, animal bones, and organic waste into the dirt. Centuries later, this soil remains incredibly fertile. The charcoal base acts as a massive carbon trap, proving these ancient societies mastered and manipulated the chemistry of the jungle to their advantage. When Europeans arrived in South America, they brought pathogens like smallpox, to which the indigenous populations had zero immunity. Within decades, millions died, leaving their sprawling cities to be rapidly swallowed back up by the fast-growing forest. The Amazon is a highly engineered landscape, a massive garden whose original architects were quietly erased by microscopic pathogens. Modern humanity has returned to the deep Amazon, but instead of working with the forest's biological engine, we are dismantling it for short-term economic gain. 3 primary drivers are fueling this destruction: clearing massive tracts of land for cattle ranching, industrial-scale soy farming, and illegal mining operations that poison the waterways. The fatal catalyst for all 3 is infrastructure. Once a single access road is cut into the jungle, rapid destruction inevitably spreads outward from that artery. The sheer speed of this land clearing is staggering. Every single minute, An area of jungle equivalent to multiple football fields is burned to the ground and permanently lost. This relentless deforestation systematically severs the transpiration connections, the self-watering loops that keep the entire massive machine running. Fewer trees pumping moisture into the air means less rain is generated to sustain the rest of the surviving forest. As the moisture cycle weakens, the jungle dries out. This chart plots the mathematical reality of that decline. Comparing tree density to rainfall volume reveals a critical threshold known as the tipping point. If the forest crosses this line, it can no longer produce enough rain to keep itself alive. Crossing that threshold triggers a total system collapse. The lush rainforest ecosystem rapidly and permanently transforms into a dry, arid savanna with no upward trajectory to recover. In that collapse, we lose undiscovered medical compounds, one of the planet's most vital carbon traps, and those ancient lidar cities still waiting to be uncovered beneath the soil. Pushing the Amazon past its breaking point destroys the lungs of the Earth and incinerates an irreplaceable library of human history, long before we've even learned how to read it.